3-minute mock I built for this episode. It's just a phase 2 Grunth patrolling on Ryloth. Of course, with 3 minutes, I don't have a lot of time, and most of the time is spent collecting the bricks for it. So I just kind of put these terrain pieces that I'm using for the larger mock in here just to kind of like practice terrain. I think it turned out really well. So the problem with building this small is, well, you know, kind of detailed. It just looks so unproportionate because the minifigure is almost as tall as the build. So it just kind of looks odd and out of place. I kind of like these tiny 6x6 mocks, but really I think they need to be a little bigger. How the 10-minute mock turned out. It actually kind of took me more than 10 minutes, probably like 15, just because I had to look for pieces and stuff. But it's a Rancor battalion trooper, ARF trooper. I think that's what battalion this is. They're from the episode 3 attack on Kamino, and it's an Order 66 scene. He's just gunned down this Jedi, and he's running to meet the rest of his troopers. It's an unknown planet. It's rocky. I thought I'd try this new border technique. I think it's really cool how it turned out. It's really unstable. As you can see, it's only 4 pieces holding everything together. But I think it turned out really well. I like my dark crimson blood pieces. I didn't really know what to do for the top of the mock, so I just decided, well, let's have somebody dying, and it'll look cool. So on to the next one. 2 side by side. As you can see, this one is much larger than this tiny 6x6. However, it is still based on a 6x6, but then I made it an 8x8 on top, and of course, these the border sticks out further. Personally, I think that this mock just makes this one look like crap. This one's just too small to have any good detail, and personally, I just don't like it. This one, however, I think it's cool with the jagged edges, kind of rough terrain. I think it came out a lot better than I expected. For the last mock in this episode, I will still be building quite small, but I'm allowing myself 5 of these 6x8 base plates just to build. So like this, because each time it increases in size, and I want to fit something special on this one. So I believe that this many can get the job done. If you guys didn't already catch on, this is not a flat mock like I usually build and most people usually build. This is straight up in the air. This is the side of a mountain, kind of an incline. I haven't decided if I want this, you know, fully straight, so it'll kind of slope up like that, or if I'm gonna keep it how it is right now. I kind of like how it is right now. I just use these hinging bricks to do this. I have a ton of them from the 501st set. A ton of them. And so I just decided to use these for this. I like how this goes so far, and let's add the details. Final product. I've never built a mock like this. Sadly, I will be tearing it down almost as meaty as it's built, but I might leave it up for a few weeks. I really like how it turned out. I'm going to add some things to the bottom just to make it more stable, but that's not really important for the whole mock. But this is a train, and now let's put on some minifigures. The final mock of this episode. It's a Spider-Droid climbing up a hill in Geonosius. So I thought that I wanted to challenge myself. I knew I wanted a mock with a Spider-Droid in it, a Dwarf Spider-Droid. I just didn't know how or where I'd put it. So I thought, well, what better way than to have it climbing up a hill, because they're known for climbing. And then my second thing was, well, how do I make a hill? And I thought about making it, the traditional way where you take the mountain pieces and slope it up. And I'm like, but most of my mountain pieces are used right now, and that would just take way too long, and I have to worry about structure, stability, and all that stuff. So then I thought, well, what if I made just a flat mock, with it walking? I'm like, but that's kind of lame. So then I came up with this idea with these hinge pieces to curve it up so that it appears like it's climbing up, and then just making kind of a horizontal rockwork that you see in so many other builds nowadays. There's a very common theme when it comes to these three mocks in this episode, and it's difficulty of building them. They each challenge me in a different way that will grow my skills as a builder and hopefully look pretty good. This one, despite being the most basic, it helped me work on my terrain work on a smaller scale. So while it might not look challenging to build at all, and it really wasn't, it's nice to know that I can move terrain like this and I won't just have a flat surface. It also challenged me to build incredibly small. This is only an 6x6, compared to this one, it's tiny. It's not even bigger than the Dwarf Spider-Droid, and yet, you can pack this much detail in that small thing. This one, I used the snot technique for the first time in a build. I think it looked great. It's also the first time I ever put a border on a mock, because I never really thought that that's a cool thing to do. I think this looks a lot better than those simple black borders, because it seems like it's cut out of the earth in a jagged way. It's also a really cool Order 66 scene, and I love the terrain detailing on it. I think it came together perfectly. On to the last one. This one I did not expect to build. It's from the hinging pieces and building horizontally to make it go vertically instead of, just horizontal mountains that I'm used to. I've never tried this. I got this idea from Solid Brick Studios on his Geonosius building series. All of his rock work is pretty much just he builds it on a plate, puts it up, and it just looks phenomenal. It honestly looks just amazing. So I wanted to try something like that. I think it came out really well. I left a lot more studs just so I can pose this Dwarf Spider-Droid how I wanted. I also really like the incorporation of just a ton of different pieces and things. I always like to put random things in the build, so I have to overcome a challenge of, oh, this is in my way, I need to fix it. So yeah, that's it for today, and thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one.